It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC. 1-800-222-5222. Your emails at randykabc@gmail.com. You can give me a follow on social media at Randy Wang Radio and search for the KABC News Blitz wherever you get your podcasts. Today is a very special day. I don't know who decided that today was National Tequila Day, but I'm here for it. Had a lot of heavy stories lately. We're going to have some fun today because apparently someone decided that July 24th is National Tequila Day. And I, after a long and strange journey, have decided that tequila really is my favorite spirit, maybe even my favorite liquor. I think these days I think about tequila more than I even think about wine. Which says something considering that I literally broadcast while standing next to my wine fridge that holds 170 bottles. Do you know how many wine clubs we've unsubscribed to this year because we're never going to drink all this? So much of this wine is hopefully going to be still good when we finally get to it, but we've got to stop buying. But, you know, as today is National Tequila Day, and that means that there's going to be, I'm sure if you go out tonight, there's going to be bars, there's going to be restaurants with specials. I've been getting notifications with, you know, if you happen to have a relationship with a certain restaurant where you have their app, well, then you get notifications like at Home State, hey, come on down to Home State, the breakfast taco chain, because we're selling margaritas that you can drink out of a boot. Well, that sounds fun. Eureka, I have their app because I like their place out in Woodland Hills. They also have one in Claremont and a few other locations. They have a Spa Day margarita, which is a cucumber margarita that's on happy hour prices all day long. So that's fun. But I think National Tequila Day, we're talking about more than just margaritas. And this is something that I have grown into and something that is a recent obsession of mine. Now, my journey with tequila started, as many people's did, not well. Most people's first experience with tequila is probably a bad one. Because when you're 21 years old, or, I don't know, a little younger, and you only have access to certain things, it's very possible, especially if you grew up when I did, the first time you ever put tequila to your lips was when someone told you to do a shot of Jose Cuervo. Not Cuervo 1800, not that $200 bottle of Cuervo, but Cuervo Gold. In fact, I have distinct memories of being a waiter at TGI Fridays, and that's what was in all the margaritas outside for the Cadillac margarita. That one had Cuervo 1800. I think that's the highest end tequila you could get there. This is like 2004, 2005. This is just around when like Patron was becoming a thing. Boy, do you remember when Patron was like the most high-end tequila you could see at a bar? Things have changed quite a bit, but I, like many people, started off thinking, my body doesn't react well to tequila. My mind doesn't react well to tequila. Tequila hangovers are not fun, so I don't like tequila. In fact, I think if I look back on the worst hangover of my life, the most wasted I have ever been, it was a very specific bottle of tequila that was the culprit. I was at Frank Kramer's house of the Heidi and Frank show on KLOS. This is when, I think this was before they got to KLOS because they were just doing podcasts out of his garage. And I was doing podcasts and we were invited over there to do their show, or we did one of our shows over there. And somebody, Frank, brought out a bottle of Patron. What is it even called? It's the coffee one. If I just type in Patron coffee, what comes up? Okay, it's called XO Cafe. It's a Patron coffee tequila. And it's delicious, but you don't want a sipping liquor that's so smooth you drink it too quickly. I learned this the very hard way as a idiotic 21-year-old who had a habit of going to the gym with my buddy who would pick me up. We would go to the liquor store first, drink something, and then go work out. And at the time, my buddy worked at Pizza Hut, and there was a liquor store next door. And we would trade him free pizzas for some booze. And we didn't know what the hell we were getting. You know, I think one time I wanted some Bud Ice. I think one time I got a sixer of Mickey's Big Mouth. But eventually you graduate to want to learn about the liquors of the world. My friend was really into banana schnapps, specifically a brand called 99 Bananas. And I remember, because at the same time I was working as a waiter at TGI Fridays, learning about all of these liquors that I had never heard of. Because the first time you see a fully stocked bar, it's not just your vodka, gin, whiskey, and tequila and scotch. Oh, there is so much else. I had to figure out what Rumpelminze was, what Goldschlager is. Remember Goldschlager? The cinnamon schnapps with the little gold flakes? Well, as an idiotic 21-year-old, I realized that if you mix Rumpelminze and Goldschlager, they kind of cancel each other out, and you create a 100-proof shot that is tasteless. And when you're an idiotic 21-year-old, you drink way too much of that and black out at the gym. That's a real thing that happened. But yeah, besides that, the worst hangover was drinking nonstop tequila with Frank Kramer. And it's funny, too, because I have an uncle who, when he was drinking, he knew all the secrets of tequila. The trick with not getting wasted on tequila is drinking as much water as you drink of it. So he would be at a party, and he would hold a handle of tequila and a big old jug of water. And I always remembered that. Always make sure to hydrate if you're drinking. But that's drinking in your 20s. Although when he gave me that advice, he was in his 50s. But, you know, as you get older, you don't really drink to get drunk. I mean, at least I don't. I haven't in a very long time. I cannot tell you the last time I participated in a shot of tequila. Actually, I can. It was the summer of 2016. And I had a stand-up white trash outdoor pool in the backyard of the house that my wife was renting in Burbank. At this time, we were just dating, but I had moved in for about a year and a half. And one day, I had my friends over, and we were having an all-day pool day, all-day drink day, drinking different beers, enjoying ourselves. I think at this point, we were still into IPAs. Maybe we were into Gozes, but a friend of ours was coming over late to the party, and we were out of booze. And we said, get some tequila. And she bought, and this is 2016, so most of us should know better because we were in our 30s. She bought a bottle of Cuervo Gold. And we were dumb enough to drink it. And that one didn't go very well. But again, those are the bad old days of my relationship with tequila. It has since evolved quite a bit. I started getting into margaritas with my wife, started really understanding the beauty of a ranch water margarita from all of my trips to Texas. And a ranch water margarita is very simple. Tequila, lime juice, club soda. Love it. And there was a specific tequila that we discovered. I forget who told us about it. I think it was some liquor store in Encino, where we were looking to buy tequila so we can make ranch waters. He was like, okay, I'm going to tell you a little secret. Cazadores used to be really good, Well, the guy who made Cazadores got bought out, and that's why Cazadores taste like everything else now. I think they're owned by the same people that own Patron. The guy who made Cazadores made his own label that you can find at like Vallarta, and it was like $17 a bottle for a repo. And it was called Hacienda Vieja. Don't look it up now because it's gone. It didn't survive COVID. I think that's what happened. We just stopped seeing it, but that used to be our go-to. But, you know, when you're just looking for tequilas to mix with lime juice, to mix with, I mean, we used to go, you know, all out with the different fruit combinations, make a blackberry jalapeno margarita. I've since kind of backed away from making any kind of jalapeno margaritas because jalapenos are unpredictable. And typically what restaurants do, most of them, or nice bars, you might not get the consistency that you want out of jalapenos. Some will be too spicy, some won't be spicy enough. So what a lot of great places do is instead they'll jalapeno infuse tequila, and you'll use that for a spicy margarita, or the jalapeno infused lime juice, and they'll use that for a spicy margarita. But regardless, you don't ever want to go too fancy if you're muddling down your tequila with lime juice. Nothing wrong with that. It's just, you're just throwing money down the drain if you're spending, I don't know, $60, $70 on a Blanco because you're going to mix it into a margarita. So let me tell you the go-to base level margarita that I believe is additive free, although they don't advertise it that way, and I think does a really good job. And that's Espolón. Espolón is available everywhere, even Trader Joe's, and it's more expensive now. I don't know if it's tariffs or just inflation, whatever, but when we were really drinking a lot of Espolón, you could get a bottle of Espolón Repo for like $20 at Trader Joe's. You get that and a couple of bags of organic limes, you're good to go. That's all you need. We've always been more of a tart than a sweet margarita family, so really, just tequila and lime juice, that's all you need. If you want to muddle some fresh fruit in, you can. If you happen to see passion fruit available at a not crazy price at a grocery store, which is like the one time a year they have it at Trader Joe's, because other markets, it's like each one of those little fruits, which maybe will make one cocktail, is like $5. It's a lot of money. But simple tequila, lime juice. We don't do any orange liquor. We don't do any sweetener. That's just not how I roll. And I think that is why, for the most part, we don't get hangovers from tequila. So for many years, our household was wine pairing with dinners. If we're having cocktails like it's a Saturday afternoon and we're doing a Love Island marathon, hey, we were on to Love Island before all of y'all. My wife started with the British one and the Australia one, and the America one only got good the last 3 years. And, you know, that's how sometimes we spend a nice Saturday afternoon. We would have our margaritas, and maybe we would do old fashions. And that was a thing that we were really into as well. I had a big Jones for whiskey for a long time. Love my bourbon. Still have it on the bucket list to do the bourbon trail one day. But I'd say about the beginning of the year, my wife started to react strangely to bourbon, and she has a gluten allergy, and maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. And by the way, this is super ironic because last year we got fruit trees put in, and we got a lime tree for margaritas, and we got a Tangelo tree for old fashions. I don't know what exactly we're going to do when the fruit is done on the Tangelo tree, because we're not really drinking old fashions anymore. And the thing is, our tastes have completely changed. And that is because I have, over the last few years, discovered añejo. You know, I have mostly been buying Blanco tequila or a reposado if you want a little more flavor. I don't buy tequila to shoot. That's not my thing. I'm not drinking to get drunk. I'm drinking to enjoy myself and, I don't know, sleep a little better. But as you are probably aware, I spend a lot of time in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And there is a great hotel right at the beginning of downtown in the Plaza area called the Inn on the Alameda. And a couple of years ago, they rebranded their bar at the hotel to a place called Joe's Tequila Bar. great prices, great local hangout, but also a massive tequila list. Like if you ask for the tequila list, it's not on one of those little books. They give you, it's almost like a giant foldable map. There are so many different tequilas to try, and I had never in my life been like, I'm going to try a sipping tequila. And then I did. And they brought it out with a little plate that had a little design of an agave flower with cinnamon and tahini and a little orange slice. And they were like, and I'm like, what do you do with all this? Oh, well, you take the cinnamon to kind of cleanse your palate. Then you take a sip. Then you have a little orange, maybe a little salt on the orange. And I was in heaven. It was like, wait a second. This not only tastes great, I feel great drinking it, and I like it. So that was maybe 2 years ago. We have gotten to the point now where our house is almost exclusively tequila and wine. And I have learned a lot about tequila over the years. And I'm going to share you some of my favorite brands, some of the ones that I have really enjoyed. But I also am curious out there because as we celebrate National Tequila Day, it occurred to me, while I have a great tequila spot in New Mexico, I also have a great tequila spot in Dallas, Texas that I'll tell you about. I don't know anywhere that is like a straight up tequila bar in Los Angeles, in Southern California. I'm sure there have to be, right? A place where you can do a flight, do a tasting. Oh, I love doing a nice tequila flight. That always is really special to me. But I don't know anywhere. And they must exist. So I'm going to open up the bat phone right now as we celebrate National Tequila Day. And I'm going to ask you, if you happen to be an avid tequila drinker, where do you go to enjoy tequila in Southern California? Is there a tequila bar that you are aware of that I need to try? Willing to drive for this, and I usually am not willing to drive for anything, but we have a couple of places where we like margaritas, but I can't think of any place that I would go to that I want to try their añejo. I want to see what different tequilas they have, things I haven't discovered before. I want to know. So whether it's a tequila shop in town or a liquor store that specializes in nice tequilas, añejos, extra añejos, we'll also get into mezcal. You get a favorite tequila brand that you love, or restaurants, bars that specialize in nice tequila for sipping, because that's what I like to do. I don't know any in Southern California. Maybe you do, or maybe you could point me in the right direction. I'm sure there's some Southern California tequila Facebook group I need to belong to. I had just joined one for Dallas, but I should probably join one for where I live. So as we celebrate National Tequila Day, if you happen to be a tequila fan, give me a call at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Where is an awesome tequila-focused bar in Southern California? They must exist. You have to tell me about it. I'll look up on Reddit. I'll look up on the websites. But if you know where one is, if there's one that you've been to that has a nice list where you can do a flight and try different añejos, which happens to be one of the coolest things that I ever get to do nowadays, I want to do that somewhere in Southern California. So give me a call as we celebrate National Tequila Day. Tequila bars, tequila stores, your favorite tequila brands. If you're a tequila guy, a tequila gal, give me a call. 800-222-KABC. 1-800-222-5222. Cheers, everyone. It's National Tequila Day, and I need to learn more about my añejos. 800-222-KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's National Tequila Day, and we're taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. I've become a big fan of tequila tastings whenever I'm in New Mexico. The last time I was in Dallas, I had a great tequila tasting at a place that I'll tell you about, but I don't know anywhere in Southern California where you can do a good tequila tasting. So if you do, place that has tequila flights, fancy tequila lists, a place where I can sip on some añejo and try something new and learn more about this spirit that I am falling in love with, well, give me a call, 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. You want to shout out a bar or restaurant with a great tequila list? You want to tell me your favorite tequila brand or a store where you love to pick up nice tequilas? Let's celebrate. It's National Tequila Day. So give me a call, 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. If you're on hold, stay on hold. We're getting to your calls next. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Your emails at randykabc@gmail.com. Give me a follow on social media at Randy Wang Radio and search for the KABC News Blitz wherever you get your podcasts. It's National Tequila Day. I am a big tequila fan. In the last couple of years, I have really developed a taste for sipping tequilas, añejos, very recently getting into extra añejos. I'm going to share with you some of my favorite brands and where you can get them. But I know some great places to get a drink in New Mexico. I know some great places to get a good tequila drink in Texas. I don't know anywhere in Southern California. Strange, huh? So if you get a recommendation for a great tequila-focused bar in Southern California, give me a call, 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's start with Ray in Manhattan Beach. Ray, hello.
Hello. There's a place in San Diego in the Old Town section called El Agave, and they have 400 different tequilas. And there's a liquor store next door to it called Old Town Liquor and Tequila, and they have a huge selection of really good tequilas. They'll have some that are aged in French oak barrels, some in Jack Daniel's barrels. I mean, they're just absolutely amazing. And it's Old Town Tequila and Liquor. They also have a website. I buy a bunch of stuff down there, and I bring it back, and it's just amazing.
You know, there's few things I love more than sitting at a fancy tequila bar and just admiring all the bottles. And I'm looking at the website for El Agave, and it looks like that's exactly what I can do there.
And the liquor store, Old Town Tequila and Liquor, they cater to that market, and they have all the high-end tequilas there. And they have a couple that taste like the high-end that aren't high-end.
See, that's the thing I love. I love when you can tell a bartender or a sommelier or someone that works at one of these stores, here are some of the brands that I like, and you give them one really high-end one, and you're like, so what do you have that's comparable but maybe a lower price point? And then they realize that you know the code, and they start telling you exactly what you're looking for. Okay, next time I'm in San Diego, I got to get down to El Agave and what's the store called? Old Town Tequila?
Old Town Tequila and Liquor. And it's next to it.
I'm going to check it out. Thank you so much for the call, Ray. Appreciate it. Just another excuse to get down to America's finest city. Let's go to Dale in Cyprus. Dale, hello.
How you doing today?
Doing great.
Good. Yeah, so I want to offer something to you. You're more than welcome to bring you and 3 of your best friends over to our office, and we'll give you a tequila tasting that you really would enjoy.
Oh, really? A tequila tasting?
That's right. And we have one of the best añejo extras that you can possibly have.
Well, that's something I'm just recently getting into, and I'm very, very, very curious. I'm totally interested. Dale, why don't you email me your info at randykabc@gmail.com, and I'll get in touch.
I will do, and that's Commissario Tequila.
Commissario Tequila. I'm going to look it up right now, my friend. Thank you so much for the call, buddy. Enjoy National Tequila Day.
I I will. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you so much for the call. Oh, boy. Commissario. That one I don't know. There are so many. I mean, there's hundreds. There's thousands. And some people will fall into, let me just tell you right now off the bat, the big trendy bottle that you've seen at so many different bars and restaurants, Joey in Woodland Hills literally puts it on the menu as some kind of specialty. You know what I'm talking about. That big ceramic bottle. It looks so pretty. Clase Azul. Don't buy Clase Azul. It is incredibly overpriced. Now, I've never had the Añejo. I've only had the Repo. But for a Repo, you're looking at spending at a liquor store between $150 to $180. If you're buying a taste of that at a bar, it's going to cost you a lot of money. The bottle is pretty, and the tequila is good. In fact, it doesn't even taste like tequila. It tastes like cream soda. But that's the thing. That tequila is not all natural. It does not have, it has additives in it, and that's why it tastes a little different. So you can try it if you'd like. It's not for me. Now, where do I get most of my tequila these days? I got to say, the selection at Total Wine & More is pretty darn incredible. And there's usually people working there that are knowledgeable enough that if you tell them one or two brands that you like, they'll turn you on to something that you haven't tried before. Maybe something that's at a higher price point, but more often than not, they'll tell you something that's at a lower price point that you don't know about. But I'm going to tell you what is currently my favorite tequila brand that I discovered thanks to my friend David over at Joe's Tequila Bar in Santa Fe, New Mexico. He turned me on to an all-female made brand, an all-female distillery, 100% natural, 100% agave, no additives, made tequila the old way. And the brand is called Mijenta, Mijenta. And Mijenta is magical. Now, you can see Mijenta at Total Wine and some of the other liquor stores as well. And the Blanco will run you about $40, which is a little more than I want to pay for most Blancos. It's that good that I pay $40 for that. And just Mijenta Blanco, lime juice, a big ice cube, and a salt rim is currently our best margarita that I can make. It can't do it better. It's so darn good. Now, the Repo will run you a little more. That's in the $70 range. The Cristalino, which is a Repo that is filtered through charcoal, which is a whole fascinating thing, that's about $100. They're all very good. But I was lucky enough, thanks to Joe's Tequila Bar, to try the Mijenta Añejo. And it comes in this beautiful blue bottle. And you can find it at Total Wine for maybe like $140 a bottle. It's a very special occasion kind of thing. And if you're going to have one, you only have one that night. If you've never sipped high-end tequila before, that will change your world. My wife, who used to not think she'd ever want to drink a straight liquor, we always wanted to have some kind of cocktail. She loves it. Although there's one she loves even more. And it's a little cheaper. It's at Total Wine. And it's funny. If you tell the people at Total Wine that you like this, they'll know that you know what you're talking about. And then they'll tell you all the little tequilas that you want to try. But she loves Carmesí. And it comes in this skinny red box. And is usually like $119, $120. But, sometimes they have good discounts going on at Total Wine. That is what she loves about it is you taste all the barrel aging. So if you don't know, a Blanco means there's no aging on it. A Reposado can have up to a year of aging. An Añejo could have 1 to 3 years of aging. And an extra Añejo can be 5 years. It could be 7 years. Those can get very expensive because like a nice bottle of wine, they've been aging for years and years and years. And those characteristics of the barrel are coming through. And you start tasting all these vanilla notes and cinnamon notes. And let me tell you what we love to do for dessert. Whatever we've had for dinner, maybe we've had a nice meal, a nice bottle of wine. Dessert time, cookies, an añejo, the cinnamony flavors, the vanilla-y flavors. It's a match made in heaven. It is so ridiculously good. And because you're drinking very pure stuff, I don't think I've ever had a hangover on this. We've never, gotten to the point where we've gotten drunk on it. It's just so good. I love the flavor. Some people say that about liquor. Oh, I love the flavor. I love the flavor of a Mijenta or a Carmesí. But, of course, you can't always go for the high-priced bottles. So there are plenty of other bottles that I wouldn't say they're as good, but they are fantastic in their own right that are much cheaper than that. And we're going to go over those next. But first, let's go to James in Huntington Beach. James, hello.
Hi, Randy. How you doing today?
Doing great.
Yeah, I started watching the tequilas when the celebrities started selling them and finding out that they were using additives. And you could go buy a bottle of tequila in the $30 range that tastes better than a $150 George Clooney Casa Amigos. So that's when I first started watching it. And then the more I learned, I found out that since you're using a cactus, it doesn't spike your blood sugar the same as a vodka or other drink might that uses a potato or corn. So it's actually a healthy tequila to drink neat, as long as you're not adding other sugars into it. So
I totally agree with you on that.
My favorites right now are the G4. It actually stands for Generation 4, so they've been making it for hundreds of years. And the other two are the Tapatio, just like the hot sauce. They make a great Blanco and Reposado. And the all-time favorite, but you can't find it, it's called Fortaleza. Unfortunately, it's hard to find, so I usually get my Tapatio or my G4. You can't go wrong.
James, you know your game. Now, let me tell you, I love Tapatio, and that one you can find for like $52 a bottle. It's great. G4, I've only found the Añejo once, and the regular Repo is great, but one time I got to try at this bar in Santa Fe, that G4 special Repo, the one that comes in like a casket, that was one of the nicest tequilas I have ever tasted. And I have had Fortaleza once. There's a bar in Dallas called Las Almas Rotas, an incredible mezcal bar, tequila bar. They have a direct deal with the distributor there, and they sell it for $20 a pour, where everyone else, if they have it, sell it for like $25, $30 a pour. And yeah, if you can get your hands on it, Fortaleza is incredible.
Yes, that's my favorite. That G4 is actually aged in a Tennessee whiskey called Dickey. It's one of my favorite whiskeys, and now I found the tequila that's aged in the same barrel. G4 is my favorite.
I love it. And James, you're totally right about celebrity tequilas, especially people think Casamigos is additive free. It is not, and it tastes like a basic tequila that is overpriced with the celebrity name on it. Marky Mark's tequila is pretty good, Flecha Azul, but I would say if I was going to buy any celebrity tequila brand, there's only two that are in my regular rotation, and the price points are good. Pantalones, which is Matthew McConaughey's, is like $50 for an Añejo, and I think it's pretty solid. It's additive free. And I'm a big fan of Breaking Bad, so the Dos Hombres with Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul, that mezcal, that's a pretty solid bottle.
All right. Enjoy.
Thank you so much for the call, James. Appreciate it. That guy knows his stuff. I love it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number, 1-800-222-5222. I'm a big fan of tequila. It's National Tequila Day. I really don't know that many places where I can go do a tequila tasting in Los Angeles, in Southern California. So if you got a place, give me a call, 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. If you'd like to email us, you can do so at randykabc@gmail.com. Carolyn writes in and says, check out Casablanca in Venice. Great tortillas and tequila. They have a tequila cart that comes to the tables. That sounds like my kind of party. And Bill writes in and says, Randy, you got to try Daisy in Sherman Oaks. It's a new spot. Everything behind the bar is from Mexico. They got mezcals on tap, and the food is phenomenal. Octopus tacos are worth my drive, and the wait, you'll have to endure it. Go, you will thank me. I didn't even know about this place. I got to check that out. If you're on hold, stay on hold. More of your suggestions coming up next. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. Let me tell you a few other brands before we get back to the calls. Chamucos, that's like $58, $60 a bottle. That's a great one to get into this. Arete, which some places have it for $80, but Total Wine has it for like $58. That's an incredible bottle. There are so many, and I'm just feel like I'm just starting to learn. Let me tell you about this tasting that I had at Joe's Tequila Bar last month. We got to try for the first time ever this incredible tequila called La Gran Senora Extra Añejo. It's in this beautiful gold bottle. It was one of the best tequilas we've ever tasted. My wife went crazy for it. So I started looking up, where can I get a bottle? I found one at San Francisco's tequila shop, sftequilashop.com, and they shipped it down here, and that's what she's getting for her birthday next week. Keep a secret. Let's go to Kim in K-Town. Kim, hello.
Hey, Randy. So quickly to go over this, I'm in Cape Town. I don't know if you've ever been over to the Barkeeper on Hoover, but they have a pretty decent selection of nice artisanal tequilas, mezcals, actually anything you want. So that's a really cool place. And I just got this bottle. It's called Rui Senor. Pardon my Spanish accent. It's a small batch Blanco, though, about $40, but it was amazing.
That sounds amazing. And Barkeeper, I got to check that one out. Thanks so much for the call, Kim. We're out of time. Happy National Tequila Day, everybody. Cheers. Enjoy yourself. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang.